Yeah, hello! Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a 3x3 piston door. This one is, again, a vault door, so not a normal 3x3, because it's got a little indent right here, as you can see. But, unlike my previous vault door, this is a shutter, so that means it has a completely different animation. As you guys can see right there, the animation is absolutely wonderful. This is probably one of my favorite 3x3 piston doors so far. And it's just a normal door. You can just walk on through, visit your baby squid, and walk back out. So the closing is probably by far my most favorite part. The opening is pretty okay. It could be a little bit better, but that closing looks absolutely wonderful. Well, anyways, here is the 3x3 door. As you guys can see, it is pretty complicated. I would put this at a higher tier of difficulty because it is not easy to make, I'll tell you that. If you guys want a easier version, I would check out my spiral vault door. It is very similar, except 20 times easier to make. So as you can see, this is the redstone. And the problem with this door is on the back side, it isn't as pretty. As you can see a little bit of a redstone, or the piston right here. Let me show you it with it covered up. It'll look like that, so not the prettiest thing in the world. So that is the one downside to it, but from the front side, it looks wonderful. So anyways, let me show you guys how to make it. So I know the door looks super intimidating to make, but trust me, I sort everything out by circuits, and if you guys follow me exactly for how it is extremely easy to build actually. So here are the items you'll need. It's very all over the place. Powered rail, 3 target blocks. This is in 1.16, so you have to be in 1.16 for this door to work, because we need the target blocks and some of 1.16's redstone features. But anyways, let's get started. So to start off, we're going to begin by putting out the frame 2 blocks off the ground. As you can see, 3 blocks on all sides, just like that. Remember, this door is 3 blocks wide, so you have to make sure you have room like that. But then we're going to begin by putting in the pistons. So we're starting off from the bottom left right here. We're going to put a sticky piston pointing straight up into this block and one to the left of it. Now we're going to repeat this on all corners. This one, and this one. And they're like all offset. That's how you get the shutter effect. So from there, and then we're going to do the same thing here. One pointing down into this corner with another one pointing like that. And in this corner again, piston here. So now it'll look like this. Now we're going to have another sticky piston. You can see where the green face is. We're going to point another sticky piston that points into this block that the other one is facing. It'll look like that. This one, it'll point into that one. You just repeat this on all of them. And now it should look like this. Now with the pistons that we just placed that are pointing there, we're going to go diagonal to them. And we're going to have another sticky piston that's pointing into that block, diagonal, just like that. The same thing here. So this one is the one we just placed. And we're going to have another one diagonal to it. Just place this one, diagonal to it, and this one. That is our piston layout. I know it's a little bit complicated, but here I'm just going to stand still. You can see and make sure that you built it correctly. Okay, so before we begin putting in the redstone, we're going to add 1 extra layer on all the sides. This is for the frame. We're just going to add 1 extra layer, just like that, on both sides. Then we can begin the green circuit. Now you guys are going to have to bear with me. This is the most difficult part of the door. We're going to get this over with first. And so once we get in the green circuit, it'll be extremely easy to follow the rest of the tutorial. So just bear with me here. Go to the bottom left corner, as you guys can see here. This is where this piston is. It's the second one out of all 3 of them. I'm going to place a block here, redstone torch on top of it. We're going to take a lever, put it on the block for now. This is just so we can test the door as we build it, make sure it's working. Hit the lever, it'll pull back the block. Now from the left side of the torch, we're going to go 3 blocks out, and so that it'll be 1 block past where all the pistons are. You see that? And now we're going to do the same thing on this side. 1 block past where all the pistons are. We're going to go 1 block up from here and break the bottom one. Okay? Now we're going to take out our slabs. And like I said, this is the hardest part of the door, so just bear with me. So we're going to go to where this piston is. This is the far right one on the right side. We're going to place a slab right here. And then we're going to match this piston right here. 2 slabs, just like that. Now we're going to go up to where the second block is. We're going to put a upper slab. Make sure these are all upper slabs, by the way. Right here on the second block. And then we're going to go from where this block, or this piston is, slab here. And we're going to break this one, just like that. And now we can match this very top piston. And that is the final slab on the right side. Now for the left side of the green circuit, we're going to go to where this block is and put a block diagonal to it, just like that. And then we're going to have a slab. You build up a block like this, you can put a slab on the left, just like that. Meet this piston right here, put another upper slab, 2 slabs on top of this one. And then we can put one on the left and one on the right. And those are all the slabs for the left side. Take your redstone dust, and now you can just put it on every block that we've put down so far. So from the redstone torch all the way, and you can follow it. As you can see, it just like connects. From right here, we're going to put it on top of this block right here, and then we can go up. Okay? Now we just have to connect everything. So from where this part is, redstone, just put a block right here, redstone dust here, and on top of that piston. From right here, you can see that in between these 2 pistons, we can put a lever on the wall. Don't hit the lever. This is just so that the redstone dust will point into it. As you can see, it points like that. Then on the left side here, we're going to go to the second piston on top, get a target block, and place it right here. You can see that the redstone dust right here will point into it. And when we hit the lever, you can see that all 4 corners will power. Now we can begin the actual circuits. Okay, now we're going to install the yellow circuit, which controls the bottom right section of the door. Make sure the door is off so that all the blocks are pulled back. And now we're going to go to the left side of the redstone torch. And you can see that there's a little space right here that you can put down 3 blocks, just like so, making a little L. And then we're going to take redstone dust, place it right here, and take out your repeaters and point them towards the pistons. You see that this one points towards the piston, this one's right next to it. Set them both to 3. From the one without anything in front of it, we're going to take a sticky piston. You hold shift and look at the repeater. You can place a sticky piston right there. You put a block in front of the sticky piston. Okay, now we're going to go back to the front. And on the right side, underneath this little hole right here that we made a little spot for, put a note block. Go to the back side. You hold shift, you can place an observer, so it points towards the back. And then you're going to stand in the middle, and put 2 of them. So now it'll point right underneath this sticky piston. You can put a block right here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is put, from where this block is, we're going to put a block here. On the left of it, 2 blocks. On the left of that, 1 block. And on the left of this, another 2 blocks. Take your repeaters. From where this little gap is, and put a repeater here that points into this block. And then do it again with another repeater. Set this one to 2. Take redstone dust, place them on top of this block and this block. And then you can hold shift above this repeater and place another block right there. Okay, and we're almost done. Now you can see there's a little gap right down the middle. Place a block right here with redstone dust on top. Then we're going to go to the far right side of the door. Take this observer. You see that there's a perfect hole right here that you can stand and place an observer pointing straight to the right. You hit the lever now. You can see that is the bottom right corner of the door. Now that we are done with the yellow circuit, we're going to go to the red, which is the bottom left corner. So make sure the door is open. We're going to go to the left side here. Above this repeater, right, that points into this piston, if you hold shift, you can place a block right here. Take a repeater on top of this block and point it into the wall. And then you go above this repeater and hold shift, you can place an observer from this repeater pointing straight up. Go towards the front side of the door again. You can see that the observer we just placed down, we can put one more that points towards the front. Take a block, put it right in front of this observer. And then take a note block and put it right underneath that piston, or right underneath the block. One last step, final observer. You can see that this piston right here, right next to the red block, you like crouch down and look at it, you can have a observer point straight down into the ground. Press the lever, And you can see that that is the bottom left corner. Now for the top right corner, again, make sure the door is open. We're going to go to the side where this lever is, as you can see, and we're going to put down 2 blocks right next to the lever. Redstone dust here. Take a repeater, place it on top of that wall, pointing into the wall. Now we're going to take out an observer, and if you stand here and kind of place one pointing straight down, you can see the arrow point straight down onto this sticky piston. Take your repeater, place it on top of the observer, and make it set to 2. Okay. If the block is sticking out here at all, just break it and place it back into where it belongs. Take a furnace, and we're going to put it right next to this observer, right there. That's so that the door doesn't break itself. Now we're going to take a block right in front of this piston right here that the redstone points into. 2 blocks just like that. Take out a slab, place it right here in between the orange block and the piston. Note block. You can put down 2 like this, break down the middle one. You hold shift while standing on the slab and put an observer that reads the note block and points into the slab. Take out your repeater. Here, it'll point away from the orange block. Set to 3. Take redstone dust. Place it here. If you can hold shift, you can place it on top of the note block. Take out a target block now. Hold shift above this repeater, and you can place a target block there. Take out a powered rail, place it on top of this sticky piston. So that part was a little bit complicated, but if you like, just pause the video. I'm pretty sure you guys can figure it out. And that is the top right section of the door. We're almost done. Now we just have the top left section. So we can see that right here, there's a little gap between where the blocks meet. Put a block right there. Take your repeaters from where this green block is. I'm going to put a repeater here. Skip 1 block. On top of the blue block, put another one. Set the one above the blue block to 2. And then we're going to take out a note block above the target block. Note block here. You hold shift, you can place another block, a normal one, right above the note block. Redstone dust. Place it in between the repeaters. Now we're going to go and take out observers. We're going to go from where the target block redstone dust, see where the redstone dust that points into there. Place an observer right next to the note block. Put a block on top of the observer that's pointing straight up. Take out a normal piston. You stand in the center here. You can see that the block that we just placed, we can put a normal piston that points towards the center. It'll be diagonal, just like that. Take out your observers. Place one here. This is pointing towards the back of the door. Break the one in front of the normal piston. And from the one we just placed, point it to the left. It'll point into a block that's right next to this piston. Okay, we're almost done. One last step is stand on top of the normal piston, and you can place another observer that points, I don't know how I explain it, it points into this gap right here. And that is the top left section actually. Yep, and we just have the center block. For the final step, which is the center double piston right here, we can take a target block above the center repeater right here. If you hold shift, you can place a target block right there. Go to the left side of the target block, place a sticky piston, a redstone block in front of it. And where the redstone block is, you can see that there is an observer right here. You can place a normal repeater pointing towards the back, set to 3. Take your redstone dust, place it in front of the repeater, and one to the left. Now we're going to go down to where this observer and this redstone, or the slab is. From the slab, we're going to put one diagonal to it, right above the observer. Take your redstone dust, place one here, and here. Now if you take a normal piston, you can see where this redstone is. You go underneath it, and place one down, and it will power on just like that. Take out a block, place it in front of this sticky piston, and you can see that the redstone will change directions and cut off. Okay, now we're just going to go from where the target block is, block right here, repeater, set on 2, Take out your sticky pistons. Match where these orange blocks are. We're going to put down 2 sticky pistons pointing straight down. That, believe it or not, is actually the whole door. And we're all done. Okay, so before I go, I'm just going to show you guys that my favorite color scheme is the smooth stone block. And if you want to change out how the door looks, just switch out all the corners. So these 2 blocks here, but with the color you want. And then whatever the center is will be this block right here. And this is by far my most favorite color scheme. But you guys can decorate it however you want. Just make sure that you don't change any of these blocks, because if you do, it'll break the redstone because there's redstone on top of it. But I'm also going to show you guys how to connect this door to a lever. So let's say from where the redstone torch is, we're going to put a repeater that points in this block. Redstone block right here behind the repeater. And we're going to have a sticky piston that points into the redstone block. Take out your observer. Go 1 block away from where the sticky piston is and have an observer point into it. Go to the back of that observer and we're going to put another piston right there. Now if we power this one with a button, you can see that the door will open and close. So let's say you just have a button somewhere along your wall and put one here. We just connect this sticky piston with redstone dust. That. And that's how you control your door. And you can do the same thing on this side of the door. You have a button here. Just run redstone dust all the way to the piston. If it doesn't reach, just put a repeater somewhere in between it and it'll connect. That's how you open and close the door. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, why not leave a thumbs up?